In a country as diverse and vibrant as Mexico, basic education is a fundamental pillar for the development and future of its citizens. But what happens when expectations collide with reality?
In this documentary, we will explore the complex relative of basic education in Mexico that reveals a story of challenge and missed opportunities through interviews and comments from teachers, parents, and students. We will discover how the education system faces constant obstacles and how this affects the quality of teaching.
As children enter these schools full of dreams and hope, the numbers reveal a shocking reality. Data provided by the Secretary of Public Education in the year 28 and 29, 0% of children of elementary school age drop out of education and 4.4% in junior high school. Those who are affected by economic problems, lack of resources, distance and transportation problems, pandemics, environmental and social problems, which prevents the learning teaching process in the classroom from being carried out successfully in both English and Spanish. However, there is an article in our Mexican Constitution that says every person has the right to education, initial, preschool, elementary school, junior high school, and college education will be provided and guaranteed.
The Mexican educational system has defined in the high school graduation profile that all students upon completion of basic education must have basic tools to communicate in English. For this, both the 2011 study plan and the new educational model established the compulsory nature of the teaching of English as a second language for all students in the country from the age of 5.
Ok, una comparación en lo que es escuela pública y privada son obviamente los programas. Lo que es una escuela privada tiene obviamente su método, depende del método de la escuela. Puede ser un método directo, puede ser un método de Discovery Learning o puede ser a lo mejor un método de Montessori. Ahora, el detalle es que, por ejemplo, en una escuela pública muchas veces el profesor tiene libre albedrío de elegir su método y no hay como que una supervisión del método. Es muy a la cátedra libre y sin embargo en escuela privada sí hay como un seguimiento de planeaciones, lo que es semanal y obviamente hay como una supervisión de los coordinadores, porque obviamente los coordinadores entran a tu salón y están supervisando que tu clase lleve el método que es de la escuela, en comparación con una pública que no lleva ese seguimiento.
When we mention a class in English, we imagine
Bueno, pues yo espero de una clase de inglés que sea dinámica, donde haya muchos juegos, donde la clase no sea tan pasiva, sino que los estudiantes pues, puedan relacionarse y que los temas que se vean pues sean realmente para la vida diaria, porque pues muchas veces nada más lo vemos de manera teórica, pero no lo llevamos a la práctica, pues eso esperaría.
Bueno, yo espero de una clase de inglés tenerla en primer lugar porque varios maestros no se enfocan en la materia cuando es realmente importante y tenerla de una manera más didáctica donde se use más material audiovisual, ya que eso ayuda mucho en adquirir aprendizajes hacia los alumnos.
Bueno, yo espero de una clase de inglés que sea motivadora y me enseñe los conceptos básicos, que sea muy dinámica y que haya mucha interacción entre mis compañeros y una buena comunicación del docente de mi parte hacia él. Y ya.
The funny is only the for reality that's observed in English classes. A teacher talking time is not a pace since most of the classes the teacher speaks in Spanish, which the student easily understands. The giving instructions, and there is no effort by teacher and the students. In interaction partners, we have not been able to observe how the teacher apply an activity to choose the couples. Normally, they are chosen among friends. There is no serious arrangements. since normally the students sit as they choose or see as they arrive.
The teacher does not monitoring in the case of preschool children. Monitoring is present signs with them which must be very attentive as they are growing. The board work, the use of the board work is very present in the classes. Normally, in the observation, we could see that it is about occupying a good distribution, and they try to occupy the adequate and understandable information. However, the prompts they did not use didactic material like this for their student learning. It's important to include activities such as the storytelling in the old school and even today. Stories have been a great tool to practice a second language, but it is sad since we have no other way to tell a story and get out of the old routine of just reading the tale.
In the classes, there are several learning theories that were applied in the classroom, such as behaviorism, main authors Watson, Pablo, Skinner, a traditional class where students show disinterest and boredom.
Cognitivism, Piaget, Ausubel, Brunner, is teaching to think, learning to learn.
On the other hand, in the learning process, the socio-emotional part must be taken into account, since what we expect from a student is that they have creativity, motivation, organization, and empathy. But the reality is different.
It is very important to implement strategies to get students interested. Students who have a good self-esteem enjoy greater creativity and concentration because they have a facility to learn faster and more.
What we expect from a student is that they have empathy, but the reality creativity, motivation, organization, and assertiveness. On the other hand, students who do not have such good self-esteem are not usually organized. They do not spend as much time studying and most of the time they are unmotivated. They do not have as much creativity, as well as are mostly reserved. Stress, anxiety, and depression can also hinder the learning process of children and adolescents, since students who suffer from anxiety reduce their concentration and retention in learning. Stress affects concentration and memorization.
Here are some of the factors that are important in the learning teaching process. The problem of the schools, we were able to observe that there are several obstacles to learning teaching. One of them is the plagiarized planning, since there is no proper supervision by the dictators, supervisors within the classes. There is also no organization with teachers and managers for good planning and obtaining a good result.
Educational planning is the pillar that supports all the objectives proposed by school institution. You must follow up in the planning, otherwise there is a risk that the goal set will not be achieved, and in the worst case that the expected results will not even come close.
There is an enormous diversity of factors that prevent classes from not being carried out as dictated by the teacher's planning. Some factors, according to an English planning, are not accompanied a learned, British, drill, practice, checking and feedback. In the area of educational transformation, Mexico has adapted for an ambitious project, the New Mexican School. With promise of innovation, inclusion, and quality, this proposal seeks to revolutionize the country's educational system and offer future generations an education worthy of the 21st century. Its center is the comprehensive training of girls, boys, adolescents, and young people, which seeks
Today, education has had great importance for society. Everyone knows that the primary purpose of the reform is quality, that the students learn more and better, improve the conditions of schools, have better prepared teachers and parents who are involved and contribute to educational process of their children, implement effective, innovative, successful programs.